A woman, known to history as Frau Trophia, steps out of her house and into the street. But she's not going to the market or visiting a neighbor, she begins to dance. There's no music, no celebration, just an intense, uncontrollable urge to move her body. Her dance is frantic, almost convulsive. She dances for hours, then days. By the end of the week, she's still dancing, exhausted, but unable to stop. This wasn't a performance. It was the beginning of one of the strangest and most terrifying events in medieval history, the Dancing Plague of 1518. Within a week of Frau Trophia's first steps, 34 other people had joined her. They too were caught in this bizarre, involuntary marathon. The city authorities were baffled. What was causing this? Local physicians were called in, but they ruled out any known astrological or supernatural causes. Their diagnosis? Hot blood. They believed the cure was simple. The afflicted just needed to dance it out of their system. So, the city council took a rather bizarre step. They cleared a space for the dancers in the city's market square. They even constructed a wooden stage and hired professional musicians to provide a constant beat, hoping this would help the dancers burn off their frenetic energy. It was a well-intentioned idea, but it backfired spectacularly. Instead of curing the affliction, the public spectacle seemed to encourage it. The sight of people dancing day and night, accompanied by lively music, drew crowds. And from those crowds, more and more people were swept up into the compulsive dance. The phenomenon snowballed. Within a month, the number of dancers had swelled to around 400. The scene in Strasbourg must have been surreal and deeply disturbing. Hundreds of men, women, and children twisting and jerking in the streets. Their faces were etched with agony and exhaustion. Their clothes were tattered, their feet bloody. They weren't dancing for joy. They were prisoners in their own bodies. Witnesses from the time described the horror. People would collapse from sheer exhaustion, strokes, or heart attacks. But for many, even a brief rest was impossible. They would fall, only to stumble back to their feet and continue their macabre dance. The city's daily death toll began to rise. At its peak, it's reported that as many as 15 people were dying each day from this relentless activity. The city officials, realizing their dance-it-out strategy was a catastrophic failure, changed their approach. They now declared that the dancing was a curse sent by a Saint Vitus, who was known to inflict plagues upon sinners. The music was stopped, the stage was dismantled, and public dancing was banned. The remaining dancers were rounded up and taken to a shrine dedicated to Saint Vitus, located in the nearby hills. There, they were made to pray for forgiveness. Slowly, over the next few weeks, the dancing began to subside. The last of the afflicted eventually stopped their frantic movements, and the nightmare that had gripped Strasbourg for over a month finally came to an end. But the questions remained: what on earth had just happened? Historians and scientists have puzzled over the Dancing Plague of 1518 for centuries, and several theories have emerged. One of the earliest scientific explanations points to ergot, a type of mold that can grow on damp rye, which was a staple food at the time. Ergot contains psychoactive chemicals that can cause muscle spasms, tremors, and hallucinations. It's the same substance from which LSD was first synthesized. This ergotism theory suggests that the townspeople had accidentally ingested poisoned bread. However, there are problems with this theory. While ergot can cause convulsions, it's unlikely to produce the coordinated, sustained dancing described in historical accounts. Also, it's rare for so many people to be affected in the exact same way. Usually, ergot poisoning presents a wider range of symptoms. This leads us to the most widely accepted theory today: mass psychogenic illness, also known as mass hysteria. To understand this, we need to look at the context of 1518 Strasbourg. Life was incredibly hard. The region had been hit by famine, disease, and extreme poverty. People were starving and desperate. Stress levels were astronomically high. In such a volatile environment, the population was living on a knife's edge. This kind of extreme, prolonged psychological distress can make people highly suggestible and vulnerable to collective delusions. The area also had a deep-rooted belief in supernatural curses, particularly those from saints like Saint Vitus, who was believed to punish sinners with a dancing plague. So the theory goes like this. Frau Trophia, perhaps suffering from some personal trauma or extreme stress, started dancing in a trance-like state. Others, living in the same pressure cooker environment and sharing the same cultural beliefs, saw her and unconsciously joined in. It became a social contagion, an outbreak of psychological distress manifesting as physical symptoms. The belief that they were cursed to dance became a self-fulfilling prophecy. This wasn't a one-off event. Throughout medieval Europe, there are dozens of documented cases of dancing mania. From the 7th to the 17th century, outbreaks were reported across Germany, Holland, and Switzerland. Groups of people would spontaneously start dancing, often for weeks, sometimes traveling from town to town. The Strasbourg event of 1518 is simply the most famous and well-documented. These incidents serve as a powerful reminder of the profound connection between the mind and the body. They show how extreme stress and deeply held cultural beliefs can combine to create bizarre and terrifying physical phenomena on a massive scale. The people of Strasbourg weren't faking it. Their suffering was real. Their bodies were acting out the immense psychological anguish that their minds could no longer contain. The Dancing Plague of 1518 remains a chilling chapter in human history. It's a story about a community pushed to its absolute limit, where the lines between belief, stress, and physical reality became terrifyingly blurred. It's a testament to how, under the right conditions, the human mind can lead the body on a dance to the death. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I do, please hit the like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the strange corners of history. See you next time.